Welcome back to the second part of the video on the Slack integration with OpenAI using MuleSoft. In part one, we looked at the configuration for the Slack and the OpenAI and the MuleSoft. If you have not seen the part one, I appreciate if you can go back to YouTube and search for Open Slack integration with OpenAI using MuleSoft Part 1. Watch that video and come back and watch this because we already covered the configurations and the documentations around the integration. And my name is Vivek. I'm a MuleSoft architect. I'm also AI developer advocate. And I appreciate if you can subscribe to my channel or like my channel. I really appreciate that. So today's agenda is going to be we're going to look at the use case and also have a end-to-end demo from the Slack, and finally look any question and answers. So the use case is to automate the Slack channel for any responses from the OpenAI. So user would ask a query in the Slack channel, and the MuleSoft will listen to it, and then it takes that and then sends it to OpenAI to get the response, and then I take the response and put it back into the Slack channel. So that's the use case we're going to cover it, and the process would be to the Slack channel would be monitored by the MuleSoft listener, and it captures a question that is posted by the user in the channel and sends that to OpenAI. And once the OpenAI responds, it takes that response and then sends it back to the Slack channel. So that's the use case we're going to do. And there's a lot of big business case that you can see around. It's quick and AI-generated responses, and it reduces the response time. There's a lot of things that you can see that there is a benefit where user doesn't have to go to multiple applications to get their queries answered. So in one place they can sit and get all those things. And as we go on, we can see that the AI model can be integrated with the internal documents and much more than that. So we're going to see those in the coming videos. So let's get into the MuleSoft. So this is the MuleSoft Anypoint Studio where you build the code. So I've already, in the interest of time, already developed the code, and you can see that this is the flow. The first one, before we start anything, first thing what we have to do is we're going to create a configuration file. This is where I have all my keys and the client ID and the client secret. Unfortunately, I cannot share this because this is something that's personal, confidential, so I don't want to share those information. So you guys know, as I look at the configuration, I'm going to show you what I'm going to take from there and where you have to get that value from OpenAI perspective and the Slack perspective. Okay. So then once I have the config ready, then I'm going to the global config, and I'm going to create these properties. So this is nothing but whatever the configuration file that you created here, you want to use it in the global config. So this is the property that's going to be referred in the code. And then the second one is with the listener. This is a default one. So for HTTPS, I think this is very important, 8082. And most important thing is there is a key store file is there that also should be added here. So you're going to see the TLS configuration is added. Make sure you have this key store in here. So it should be JKS, and the path is since this file is kept directly in the source main resource, we can directly use it. So MuleSoft knows that it can see a file here in this directory and then take it. If you put it in somewhere under the subdirectory, then you have to give the directory full path. But since you're keeping this in directly under the source mains resources, you don't have to give the full path. And then the alias and then the password. So I'm not going to show you the password. So this is the thing that you have to do to the configurations. Okay. So once the HTTP listener is completed, then we're going to look at the Slack configurator. So Slack, I think first time, if you have not, if you don't have the Slack connector, what you need to do is you need to go to Exchange, and then in the Exchange, you're going to look for Slack. So you will see a connector here. This is the first one. You're going to take this first one and use that, and that's the uh, one that you're going to use it for the integration. Then once you add this, then it shows up here, and then you can go to the connector, and then you can drag and drop your all other activities. So in this case, the first thing is we're going to listen to the Slack channel. So the configuration for this would be you have to have the consumer key and consumer secret. This is something that I got it from the Slack when I set up the API key. So I have covered that in chapter in part one, but I'm going to cover this again one more time. So this is the place where you have the API client ID and a client secret. You're going to take this and use it here. And for the OAuth, you're going to use the callback, authorize, and this is the external URL that you're going to use. So let me tell you where you're going to get this external URL. So you're going to go here to this, and then you're going to click OAuth and permissions, and you'll see those redirect URLs. So this is the URL that you're going to take it, okay? So once you have this URL, you're going to put it here so your Slack connector is configured. And finally, the OpenAI configuration. So this host would be API, OpenAI documentation. This is, again, I got it from the API documentation. So if you go here, you will see you can click the Open API reference document, and then you're going to go down to chat, and then you will see this. This is the host. So this is the host, and the port number is 443. So that's it. Once these global configuration is created, we're going to quickly look at each one of them. So this is another important thing that I want to say. You should say is the conversation ID. This is nothing with the channel ID. So you have to go to the Slack. Uh, uh, this is where you're going to go, and you're going to look at your channel. So in this case, my channel is going to be this one, and you can go channel details, and this is where you want to take the channel ID. So this is the channel ID. You're going to put it here. So it's going to listen to that channel, and it's going to look for every 5 minutes. Okay. So that's all. Once this configuration is completed, so it's going to pick it up and store that text from the channel into a variable, and then it's going to use it for constructing the payload for the Open API. So in Open API, you're passing that as a parameter, whatever that is user queries from the Slack, and you're going to say for the OpenAI a system message saying that you are an intelligent chatbot. Okay, so as a chatbot, the uh, OpenAI is going to respond the responses. Okay, so this is a call to OpenAI. So in OpenAI, so this is the configuration. It's a simple configuration. We already seen that in the just now, and this is the HTTPS. Make sure it's a HTTPS, and this is a post, and this is a path, and you have to pass the payload. The header is very important. So this is something that make sure you're going to pass this header bearer with a space there. So again, I'm going to show you how I got this. So I have this here in the documentation. You're going to go here, and then you see this documentation. So this is where we picked up the headers, what is going to be passed. So once you complete this thing, and I think now you're going to call the Open API. The Open API is going to respond. So you're going to take that message. You're going to read from the payload. You're going to take the message content, and then you're going to transform into a JSON message. So in JSON, you're going to pass the channel name in which channel you want to respond. So you want to respond to a different channel because you don't want to write it back to the same channel. It'll go in a loop. So we want to use two channels, one for reading out, another for sending the response back. Okay, and then you call the Slack channel here. So Slack connector here. You're going to pass the payload, and that's it. So we're going to do a quick demo here. So this is what we completed, And let's see if I've compiled the code. It's already compiled, all set to go. So I'm going to go to the Slack now. So let's go to the Slack. So I'm going to go to the Slack here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here. I'm going to say, tell me three good things about MuleSoft as a SaaS. So I'm asking a question. So you can ask anything you want. So I just wanted to see whether I'm able to get the answer. So it's already replied, and I can go back to any point here, and I can see that it's already responded back. So you can see that MuleSoft has a SaaS offering. So let's go to the Slack and see those in the response channel. Okay, so you can see that MuleSoft as a software as a service offering provides several advantages and make a popular choices for the business. So it gives you number one, number two, number three. So that's good. So that's how you do the integration. So you guys can practice. So as I mentioned, I got part one and part two. Make sure you listen to both of them, and appreciate if you guys can subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.